Good morning, everybody, and we welcome you to one of the most generous mornings of the year, the city of Detroit. Goodfellows breakfast, in this case, honoring Arn and Nancy Tellem of the Detroit Pistons, and our own Paul W. Smith will be doing the MC duties. And Paul is kind of doesn't have to get up early as often. He's going to be joining us at our 7:30 block. Looking forward to that. Meantime, did you have flashbacks to your childhood? I mean, I think the dolls outnumber the people. They do.
They're cute. They
Right.
have different themes. There's a Michigan one, a ballerina one, if you will. That looks like Michigan State, table 40 right there.
Yeah. I think I saw one dressed as a striker. I could be wrong. It is kind of the theme. The theme around here on these places in our plaza yesterday, stones from where we are here at Huntington Place, a major rally and some whispers at that rally. And we want to caution everybody, this is only one report, but we want to pass it along. Cautious optimism that a tentative agreement could be reached between General Motors and the UAW. This comes from David Welsh via Bloomberg.
That's right. Bloomberg.com reporting that Mike Booth, vice president of the union's GM department and top union negotiators, said at the rally in downtown Detroit yesterday that GM and the UAW are moving toward a tentative agreement that put an end to the strike against the automaker. Booth said, quote, "All the pieces are there. We just have to glue it together." He said the signs are getting closer, but haven't yet come to an agreement on pay and pensions. GM has offered 20% raises over 4 years, while Ford has offered 23%. The UAW believes 20% is not enough. Booth said the union met yesterday with GM negotiators, including Chief Executive Officer Mary Barra, and gave the company a comprehensive proposal. The two sides meet again, Guy, today to continue talks. And Sean Fain is going to do a Facebook Live at 4 p.m. today. Maybe, those talks are going on, and he needed to push that back to see where they go with General Motors.
I think that's good news, but also they're not there yet for pay and pensions. It's kind of a big deal.
I go through so many of these things. There are so many head fakes before you get to an agreement. But it was interesting yesterday. Gerald Johnson, who's the executive vice president for GM, came out and had his own little talk.
Yes, he did.
A little bit less bombastic than Sean Fain. But he said, the rank and file keeps saying, well, I want $39 an hour. Well, he said, folks, read the contract. That 20% will put you at 39, most of you, at $39 an hour. And he put the wage improvement part of this into context. That's salary as well as hourly.
Yes.
So he's saying, look, folks, you are in the top 20, you're in the top 25% here with this deal, especially when you look at healthcare. With work-life balance, they've got 20 paid holidays, 5 weeks of vacation. That wage package is 30 to 40% better than what you're getting with transplants or at Tesla. For goodness sake,
The
take
total
the
compensation says the average would be $150,000 a year per person.
that's the all-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says these are not poverty wages, not by any definition.
Right. And so, the public relations campaigns on both sides go on, but he also had a caution here. He said, we have to invest heavily in these. We need to invest in the future. All those investments, that's job security for the rank and file. And those investment demands are only going to be more aggressive. We're done. He said, if we go beyond this, so not so subtly, more subtly sending the same message to Bill Ford said, which is we're mad.
Right.
Right.
And if we move forward with further these demands, that it would financially strain the company of making future investments.
And
Yeah.
GM did agree to negotiate electric vehicle battery plants under the agreement too.
Exactly. Put
Yeah.
that under the national
Under the national umbrella.
agreement.
Check 222.
Okay. Yes. Ever take a seat? Let's quickly do Biden. Yeah. Let's do Biden, and then you do Detroit crime since you didn't hear Biden. Okay. And yep. Yeah, go ahead. Have him do the normal re-intro. We're going to do a little unfinished business and then go to Beth Conley. Hi, Beth. Good morning. So Beth, we're going to do just a couple. We had a couple stories we didn't get a chance to do. We're just going to hit them really quickly, and then because we're coming back earlier than. Nation last night from the Oval Office. Anytime you've got an Oval Office speech, it has the capability of being a history-making event and presidency-making event. I don't know. I think it was one of President Biden's better speeches, though I got to admit, I think that bar is kind of low.
I thought the content was good. Writing was good.
The message
was
vitally important, and he is proposing $100 million for it would be a package deal, support for both Ukraine and Israel. Yes, there would be money in there for the Iron Dome for the Israelis. There's humanitarian relief as well, and he admitted, look, to Main Street America, you may not see the vital American interest in Ukraine.
That was his point, to say this is why it's to you in Main Street America that America continues to fund, these wars.
Yeah. And he rhetorically married Vladimir Putin, Hamas, Hezbollah, the new axis of evil here, and talked about just what would happen in America's absence. Guys, that was the first time he's called out Iran.
Yes.
So that was vital as well. The one thing he didn't do, he said, we're going to hold Iran accountable. He didn't say how. Now he's asking for $100 billion. I hope Congress steps up and says, okay, Mr. President, this is conditional. We'll give you the money. But you got to tell us how you're going to make sure that oil doesn't leave Iran.
Well, they got to get it in the Congress.
Well, and then by the way, we're going to be talking to John James at the 8 o'clock hour. But Jim Jordan getting some serious blowback from his House Freedom Caucus buddies when he agreed to go and back Patrick McHenry and his powers to be Speaker pro tem. We should point out that he did address, I was looking for this thing address, President Biden did address this idea that this humanitarian aid could fall into Hamas hands. And he said, this is something you're going to be watching. This is conditional support for now. And so, Mr. Biden, again, Mr. Biden, you better back that up. If we see any evidence that this, that our money, our aid is being converted for terrorist purposes, you got to shut it
down.
And of the breakdown of that 100 billion, 10 billion would go for humanitarian aid. And another link he tried to make was civilians or innocent people on both sides. He definitely said that.
Yeah, and which is an important distinction to make, as both sides try to play together as the enemy, the broadest of brushes. We will get to the University of Michigan and the big football game coming up. We want to talk about why we're here at Huntington Place, and that is to really kick off the fundraising effort, which is the mission of Goodfellows every year. And we welcome in Beth Conley, who is president of the Detroit Goodfellows. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me today.
We're surrounded. I think we're going to have more dolls than people.
Celebrating 100 years of the doll program. We've dropped a million dolls in 100 years. So it's such a great program. And each year, 9,000 dolls will be decorated or dressed for the young ladies' packages. So what a great thing, and it just makes everyone feel good to see the dolls.
Yeah, it really does, and there are themes to these dolls.
Right.
They're very individualized.
There's a lot of Michigan and Michigan State babies out there, so everyone's excited for the big game.
You know, the motto, Beth, is no kitty without a Christmas. And I would suspect that the need is even greater. It's always great, but it's even greater now. Parents are on strike, you have the economy the way it is. It's even greater.
Absolutely. Everything's more expensive now, so it's just harder to buy the practical things you need. And that's where the Goodfellows come in. We put in these packages, practical things, fun things. So we have socks and underwear, sweatshirts, hats and gloves. But and dental kits. We're lucky to have dental kits for the young children. But we do fun things too. We have games and books and candy. So try to make it a well-rounded package.
How does it work? How do you pick the recipients?
So actually, the recipients can apply through their schools or through online DetroitGoodfellows.org. So once you kind of get in our database, you ages 4 through 13 keep you every year, but we're always looking for new families and children, and we're still accepting applications through October 31st.
I remember the good old days. We would have the newsboys out on the
Oh,
street, up and down Lafayette Avenue. The guys would come, and would be selling the special Goodfellows edition of the paper. We get those on our phones now.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean the newsboys aren't still involved, right?
No, it's just with everything that's changed, technology's taken off. Newspapers aren't quite a thing anymore, but we're still out on Monday after Thanksgiving, selling our newsletter now and just bringing awareness to the Goodfellows and trying to raise money to buy the merchandise for the packages. So we still are the old newsboys.
For this particular breakfast honoring Arn and his wife, why them?
So we look at the Goodfellows leadership looks to bring in someone to honor that has philanthropic and does charity work in the community. They're great because they've only been here a short time, but they've done a lot being in the front house of the Pistons, in the Pistons practice facility, and just being advocates for women in general with their nonprofit organization.
Yeah, they're going to be getting the 2023 Edward H. McNamara Goodfellow of the Year award. Ed McNamara, as you know, was a great supporter of the Goodfellows.
Right, and they do a lot for children, and children is what we're all about. So it's a good fit, and we're excited to honor them today.
Yeah, Paul W. was the recipient of that McNamara
Yes,
award. It was not last year, the year before. I'm trying to think. I was telling Fabian Lloyd that it was when Ed McNamara was the recipient, was being honored. He talked about how vital the Goodfellows was, and he remembers being a little boy, and there was nothing under the tree, if there was a tree at all.
Right.
And he said, but that Goodfellows package arrived and made my Christmas.
Yeah, for many children, this is all that they'll receive this year, and we're so proud to be able to provide this for them. Nothing brings better joy than to see a child happy, especially at Christmas.
Holidays, yeah.
And so when they apply to the school and they become one in your program, how do they get their packages?
So we will send out letters at the end of November, and then we will do our distribution for 2 weeks of December, and we work closely with the Detroit Police Department. We really couldn't do it with their partnership, and they help us pass out the packages. So we do a different distribution from precincts, Detroit Goodfellows warehouse. We have different locations throughout the city of Detroit these packages, and I think it's important to note too that we support Detroit, but also of course Hamtramck, Harper Woods, Highland Park, and River Rouge. So we really have a large group that of children that we're trying to help this year.
So if you don't live in Detroit, you still could be eligible.
Exactly, right. I just encourage anyone to go to our website, DetroitGoodfellows.org, fill out the application in our database, and you'll hear from us in a couple weeks.
How many years volunteers? having volunteers.
Sure. The Detroit Goodfellow volunteers are also helping the Detroit Police Department pass out the packages. So it's a big community effort, and it's a lot of fun. So if anyone wants to volunteer, we're always looking for new members and volunteers to come out and help us.
And whether it's giving their time or their treasure on the treasure side of the coin, where do they do that?
So also DetroitGoodfellows.org, we have a goal of 0.2 million. Today really kicked off kind of that fundraising effort, bringing in the community here to remember that we're here for No Kitty Without a Christmas.
So it kind of kicks off the whole now in October.
That's
At least
right.
for you.
It sure does. We had Halloween. We're already in Christmas, so
Yeah,
we're
start
ready.
early.
Yeah.
Well, Beth, thank you so much. It's a beautiful morning. I know there's a planning committee for all of this, but our best art, Nancy Tellem, will be talking with them later on in the show. But thanks for all you do
Thank
as CEO at Goodfellows.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having everyone come this year. I know it's your first time with us, and we're happy to have you.
Well, not our first time. I think Lloyd and I have been
My
here
first
early. Yeah.
It is my first
It's our
time.
first time.
Yeah.
You know,
But we were just saying how beautiful
Yeah.
Huntington Place / TCS Center / Hobo is. It just was really a great place. And the changes that we've seen here.
Great. Thanks for coming.
Well, we're delighted to be here. Thank you. It is a big in the backyard football. Hopefully, the rain will hold off for the tailgaters and the game. But we're going to have to be really flexible on that and keep the poncho handy. Meantime, we've got this little scandal brewing. Jamie, tell us, were any trash cans harmed in the stealing of these signs?
I mean, what a bombshell at the end of the afternoon yesterday from Yahoo Sports that they're reporting the NCAA is investigating the Michigan football program for allegedly violating rules that prohibit teams from scouting in person future opponents. The allegation against this NCAA bylaw, quote, off-campus in-person scouting of future opponents in the same season is prohibited. Now, the Big Ten Conference released a statement basically saying they were notified of this investigation. The conference has notified Michigan State University and future opponents. So teams are normally provided extensive video footage to scout. Here's the problem. You're not allowed to do it in person. Michigan came out with a statement, and Jim Harbaugh basically said, like, I don't know anything about this. I want to make it clear that I and my staff will fully cooperate with this investigation. I do not have any knowledge or information regarding the University of Michigan football program illegally stealing signals, and it goes on and on. So they're saying absolutely not, this didn't happen. But the Big Ten Conference wouldn't notify Michigan State and future opponents if they didn't think it was real.
So what are the penalties if it's proven it to be true?
That I don't know quite yet, but everyone is saying that perhaps they go on and win a national title. Jim Harbaugh maybe doesn't stick around after that.
Ooh.
That's what I heard in the rumor mill.
Okay. Well, we don't report rumor, but we do pass it along. Right? We're not going to pass it along. They're not going to validate it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying.
Yeah, but it's out. Meantime, yeah, we'll try to get to the Rutgers coach's cut that we got in the bank here because it was interesting. He alluded to it during a halftime interview that there was something rotten in the state of Denmark when they played Michigan. When we come back, Matthew Schneider, the former U.S. attorney on the Sidney Powell plea deal and Dana Nessel plea deal.
closed until 3:30 this afternoon. Northbound 75 between 11 and 12 mile lane closed there as well. However, that one is in place until 5 o'clock. And then upcoming weekend construction, 75 scheduled to close in both directions between Springwells and Clark Street starting at 9 p.m. And that's going to be in place until Monday morning at 5 a.m. Also, northbound 75 scheduled to close between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road, again, 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. Monday morning. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Chilly, wet weekend ahead. Overcast showers throughout the day today. High of 59. Right now, it's 53. Cloudy with spotty showers tonight and a low of 45. Showers throughout the day tomorrow, a high of 55. And then finally, we can see some sunshine on Sunday, partly cloudy and a high of 51. I'm Renee Vitale, WGR Traffic and Weather First.
Well, you here, just like you, I've done my best to keep building my nest egg, but my years of accumulating come to an end eventually. And frankly, it's never too late. Like, now's the time to turn to an expert who can help preserve my money, someone that can safely transform all these risky dollars into steady, predictable income dollars. That's why I turned to Chris Elbert at Princip. Chris and his team showed me the real difference between what's risky and what's safe. They taught him and I how we cut our fees nearly in half and pay far less in income taxes when we retire. Chris spent more time than I ever expected viewing options for us so that we can feel confident in retirement. It's time to take control of your financial future and not rely on the government, the stock market, or simply unexpected luck to provide us with financial stability. It's time to call Principium. Call Chris at 888-800-8949 and set up a no-obligation visit to discuss your retirement. Just like me, you'll be glad you did.
The Salvation Army is looking for volunteers to donate their time and help those in need. Join us at Kettlebell Maker. Bring in person at a Metro Detroit storefront or volunteer online. Sign up, register to ring.com.
Discover more at thegreatvoice.com. 760 WJR podcast homepage. Get all your favorite WJR content delivered directly to your desktop or mobile device. Plus, uncover new podcasts you can only find on thegreatvoice.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for helping a friend.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you know these resources, whether stress, finance, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and
Welcome back to JR on WJR. Live today at the Detroit Goodfellows 33rd Annual Tribute Breakfast. Once again, direct from Huntington Place. Here are Guy, Lloyd, and Jamie.
She was the woman that wanted to release the Kraken, the most public face of the stolen election proponents, with the exception of Rudy Giuliani. She was in the inner circle. She was certainly, during a news conference in Michigan, spun some of the wildest conspiracy theories about how this election was stolen for Donald Trump. She was charged with 7 felonies in Georgia by prosecutor Fani Willis. Willing a plea deal. Now she will face only 6 misdemeanors, but she is pleading guilty and she is pledging to cooperate. I mean, it sounds like the kind of, we only reserve for Hunter Biden, but we'll get better perspective on that from our next guest, and you know him well. He is Matthew Snyder, leader of investigations in white-collar defense practice at Huntington Law, and also our former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan. Matt, good morning.
Good morning, Guy. You said that pretty well. I mean, of all people, Sidney Powell was the most outspoken person for the Trump campaign, saying so loudly that Trump had won the election, he had done all these things, she was completely on his side. And now it appears that she's completely not on his side. She's pleading guilty. going to cooperate against him and everybody else in this case.
So what does that say about Connie Willis's case, though? I mean, you go from 7 felonies to 6 misdemeanors and 6 years of probation. My goodness. Peggy Lee, tune her up. Is that all there is? Do we interpret that Connie Willis's case is ultimately quite weak, or that her future testimony against Donald Trump and Giuliani is that valuable?
It is that valuable. I think that's what we can interpret it from this, that she thought that Sidney Powell provides so much good information that she was willing to give her this deal. It's quite a deal to go from 7 felonies to 6 misdemeanors with no prison time at all, and to get this person on board, really with the prosecution team as a witness for the prosecution to cooperate. It's a big deal for the prosecution, for Fani Willis, and it will really also determine how other people react, because now other people in this case who are charged, who are defendants, will look, they'll be thinking, well, should I plead guilty to? Should I also cooperate? I think that's likely to happen.
Matthew, I know how she has to testify truthfully about any co-defendants involved in the case and provide documents to the district attorney. Can this also be a help in the federal case that Jack Smith had?
It could be, because Sidney Powell is an unindicted conspirator there. She is somebody who's on the witness list. She could also be a witness in that case. That hasn't happened yet. It's possible that that could be the case, but we will have to wait and see what Jack Smith wants to do with that.
Matthew, Trump's attorneys are saying this is not a problem. If she is speaking the truth, then this actually will help our case. Is that just, talk?
No, actually, that's not a bad point, because some of the things that Sidney Powell would have to testify about really don't implicate Trump. For example, she would be admitting guilt that she was somebody who paid somebody to crack into these voting machines. She is somebody who paid for people to cross county lines to get the machines and extract data out of them. It could be that Trump had nothing to do with that. What's really critical about her involvement with Trump is this December 18th meeting,
right,
in which she and Trump talked. And so that's the critical key: is what did Trump know, and what did he prove, and what did he authorize about this case? So that's really the kind of the critical part of it.
And the state might know more about what he knew thanks to her cooperating.
Right. You think about when you have a case like this, when you have a conspiracy, the best witness to a conspiracy is a person who was involved in it. And if a person was in the room talking with Donald Trump and knows something that the general public doesn't know and is willing to tell the jury about that, it's incredibly valuable evidence for the prosecution. And that's why I think they're very excited about this.
So when you've got a cooperating witness like this, she agrees to testify truthfully, but does she need to testify to anything beyond that which is already in the record, or does she have to give up information that is not known? What are the expectations from someone like her?
It is an expectation, because when you agree to cooperate, it's all or nothing. You're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So they're saying to Sidney Powell, you can plead guilty and you're going to cooperate, not just about the things that you did, but about everything else in this case and all the other people involved. So it really is quite expansive. She will be asked questions about President Trump's involvement and the things that she talked about with him. And that she has to turn over documents, all of her paperwork, which is quite expansive. It's a lot of stuff, so it really could implicate Trump in a bad way.
Well, the paperwork, Jamie, can be pretty damning, as we've seen in some other instances.
Yeah, Mr. Trump's other lawyer, how do you say his name?
Kenneth Cheeseborough.
Okay, I was wondering if it was pronounced like cheese. Okay.
Common pronunciation on the Kenneth.
Yeah, yes. Let's call him Kenneth. Anyway, his emails, I think, are very interesting, that, they didn't entirely think that the legal process was, really the point here, that if you just filed some things, it would look bad and it was a political game. Right, Matthew?
Yes, exactly. And she'll have to testify about that too, because she had interactions with Cheeseborough. She also had interactions with Rudy Giuliani, who there's a lot that's not known about her discussions with him that happened in private. all of that will have to come out. All of her email communications, her text messages, and a lot of times people say things in text that they wouldn't say face to face. Those will come out too. She'll have to produce those, and then Fonnie Willis can use those against all these other co-conspirators
Mhm.
at their trial.
But the idea that all they wanted to do was really break down the trust in our democratic process.
Yep,
Is
political value
yeah,
in
that the
these emails.
political value
Yep.
of it was what they were really seeking, that they knew they didn't have a case.
And Matthew James Renner, who was the Republican who was accused of participating in that fake elector plot, he had all the criminal charges dropped yesterday. He and Attorney General Dana Nessel, they reached some type of cooperation deal.
It's interesting if you think about James Renner and Dana Nessel's case and Sidney Powell. These are some of the very earliest people to cooperate. The first people to kind of come to the table and say, "I'm going to plead guilty. I will cooperate against the other people," and they're going to get pretty good deals, and they're going to have to say everything. It's very similar in that it's all or nothing. He will have to give full cooperation. He'll have to give truthful testimony, and again, just like Sidney Powell, he will have to produce all of his documents, all of his text messages, all of his emails, everything, and then Dana Nessel can use that against all the other people in the case.
Just as a final quota to all of this, Matthew, because the racketeering charges were not put in play with Sidney Powell, who again is one of the most public faces here. Do we interpret that? It might not have been a legitimate charge in the first place, as so many legal observers had asserted regarding Fonnie Willis in Georgia? You would
Well,
think
a
he
lot
would
of
want to show some credibility and at least have her plead guilty to that, but then give her a reduced sentence.
Sure, a lot of people have said that, and the people will always say that this is a political case. Those are really good political arguments to make, but they're not great legal arguments sometimes
Okay.
because we're in the court of law now, and so we have to deal with what we have in front of us. So saying it's political just really might not hold up in front of the jury.
Okay. Matthew, as always, we appreciate your time and your insight on these matters. Have yourself a great weekend.
You too. Well, it's early. I'm pretty tired, but I'm happy to be with you.
We
we,
appreciate it.
we know you have limitless energy.
Take a
Thank
nap.
you both. Thank you all.
It's a great weekend to sit on the couch, rest up, and watch a little football. So have a great weekend, Matthew. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we come back, Michigan's legislature giving a green light to allowing high school athletes to access name, image, and likeness money. High school athletes profiting from their exploits on the field. What do you think of? What do we make of that? What kind of safeguards are built in? We'll talk to one of the leading experts in high school athletics next on JR Morning.
The popularity of electric vehicles appears to be stalling out, but don't jump to the wrong conclusion. It's more like a rest on a long journey. With all of the EV hype in recent years, it can seem like everything is going electric all at once. Big investment announcements, flashy product reveals, proclamations of an all-electric future. But that's the thing. It's about the future. It takes time for vehicles to be developed, for mines and battery plants to come on board, for chargers to be installed, and for maintenance to become reliable. Lately, there have been many signs that it's going to take some time. GM is holding off on retooling the Orion plant to make electric Silverados, and Tesla is pausing construction of its plant in Mexico. Over the next few years, more affordable EVs, frankly better EVs than we have today, will reach the market. Give it a little time before casting judgment. With this week's Automotive View, I'm Jamie Butters, host of the Daily Drive podcast and executive editor of Automotive News.
And Automotive Views is brought to you by Bridgestone. Getting people down the road matters, but getting generations down them, that's what really matters. Bridgestone. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
People say we should live in the present, but that doesn't mean we can't drive toward a brighter future. That's why Bridgestone is focused on positively impacting the next generation by developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. Because getting people down the road matters, but getting future generations down the road, that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
Ordered a little love, hope, and pizza.
Hungry?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I've been taking Nutrafol for about a year.
I've been taking just over 4.5 years.
My hair was thinning.
Just gave birth. I was under a lot of stress.
I like Nutrafol because it's drug-free and the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement.
My hair feels thicker,
Stronger.
The breakage is less.
Nutrafol has taken me back to the hair I was meant to have.
Join the 1 million people growing at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com.
Want to work in industries that are shaping the future? You can in Michigan. Take the next step in your career or receive training in electric vehicles, clean energy, advanced manufacturing, and more at themichiganlife.org.
Sponsored by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm David Hall. Are you looking to buy your first home? Maybe you're ready to upgrade or downsize. Hall Financial has to be your first call. We now have an exclusive no-fee loan that is saving our clients thousands in closing costs. 866-CALL-HALL or callhallfirst.com.
WJR traffic and weather first.
The roads are pretty quiet overall. We do have one accident, southbound 275 at M14. That's been moved off to the right shoulder. Northbound 75 at McNichols, the right lane is closed for construction until 3:30 this afternoon. Northbound 75 between 11 and 12 Mile, right lane closed there as well. That's in place until 5 p.m. this afternoon. And then upcoming weekend construction and a couple of big ones. 75 closed in both directions between Springwells and Clark Street beginning 9 o'clock this evening and going through Monday morning at 5 a.m. Northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. North Bloomfield Properties is a trusted source for rental property management for over 3 decades. They handle the advertising, cleaning, and repairing of your rental. Let the experts at North Bloomfield Properties manage your
One 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
So, folks, hope this evening is rain-free for all the teams who will be under the Friday night lights. It was a busy day yesterday up in Lansing. A lot of things passing. The 24-hour waiting period for abortions was struck down. They also signed a bill saying that you must have lead testing and filtered water in every daycare and in every school. The Senate also passed a reformation of our auto insurance reform, protecting people that are catastrophically injured. But Governor Whitmer is threatening a possible veto, saying it could really drive up your premiums and mine. So a lot of things happening, but one of the most significant involved high school athletes, where the Michigan House has approved allowing high school athletes to enter into name, image, and likeness agreements with businesses to profit from their athletic exploits. A lot of other states have done this. How would it work in Michigan? We welcome in Mark Ewell, Executive Director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, to our Friday edition of JR Morning. Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't think that with my ability that I would have gotten a cup of coffee from anybody, but I guess there are some pretty stellar athletes out there that are in the elite category that could profit from this. Tell me how it would work.
So that is something for your listeners to really grasp. That the number of kids that this is going to impact and affect is a small handful. To be completely honest and candid, we did not think this legislation was necessary. However, depending on the day, 29 or 30 other states do have some allowance for high school kids to make money off of their name, image, and likeness. And what we were able to do was to work with the bill sponsor to really come up with something that is incredibly narrow. So what the version of the bill that came out of the House yesterday is this would allow individual opportunities for individual kids. So if you do have that once every 10-year type student athlete who, early in life is a very, high national type profile, it would allow that student to make some money, to basically allow themselves to promote themselves. And what you're finding is most of the NIL opportunities today are really dealing with social media. It's that young person who, whether it be their Instagram videos, their TikTok videos, a way for them to be able to monetize their fame, so to speak, on a social media platform. It's not money for how many 3-pointers I can make or cash for how many touchdown passes I throw. But the biggest thing for us here is it would not allow collectives to come up, because at the collegiate level, it really has been the formation of these collectives where schools and connected alumni have come up with money, and now we're going to use that money not just for individuals, but any student who plays on our team or comes to our school. And again, the sponsor was good working with us to make sure if we're going to allow something, it's individual opportunities for individual kids on.
Mark, so these kids can't start like putting sponsorships on their jerseys or anything. And it won't, interfere with academic time or team time.
Exactly right. That was a big part of our push that had to go into the bill. That these are all opportunities that can't conflict with in-season official team activities on the actual playing uniform. Somebody's outside, contract with the shoe company or with this social media platform. The lines here are pretty clear that if a student on his or her own time wishes to pursue some of these opportunities, they're able to do so. But, like I said, the lines here are pretty bright with what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Mark, the bill requires parental consent, and then they have to disclose everything with the MHSAA.
That is correct, and that was something. Some critics would say, "Well, our organization really want to get involved in this?" And the answer is yes, because we want to be involved in the reporting part of this, so that we can really keep accurate data to find exactly how many kids are getting these kinds of opportunities. Everything that we've heard from my colleagues in other states that have passed a bill like this is the number of kids at the high school level who have access to make some real money is infinitely small. And, once this gets rolling, we'll see how all it plays out.
We've only got 60 seconds left, Mark, but suppose the next Urban Johnson comes up through the ranks. How will there be safeguards to make sure that whatever NIL money that they do make is safeguarded for their future?
So there's a bunch of categories that students can't make money with NIL, and anything to do with gambling and a whole list of things that would really be inappropriate. Alcohol, tobacco, those kinds of things. And then also it does allow for kids to have some representation where hopefully they're making smart decisions about that money.
Well, that's it. Is it put into a trust, or what is done to make sure that it will be for their benefit and that someone else won't benefit?
And that's the thing. You worry about the hangers-on, the people. Again, that Magic Johnson type kid. You just want to make sure that that money is going to them, and it's going to be used in the right way. And we'll see how it all plays out.
Well, man, I would hope that there'd be some kind of a blind trust provision or a Shirley Temple law in here to make sure that whether it be mom or dad or other guardians involved don't end up siphoning off those funds, so that they will, if it is significant, it would still be there for them once their playing days are done. Mark, it sounds like you were instrumental in making sure that this was a very reasonable attempt at this, and we appreciate your involvement and your time this morning.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
You too. And we'll look forward to some high school football tonight. When we come back, Paul W. Smith and the dignitary they're honoring, aren't you?
Friday, November 24th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Play Wheel of Fortune live. You can win great prizes, including trips, appliances, and more. Spin the wheel on stage and solve the puzzle to win. Or win right from your seat with special...
You are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Discover more at thegreatvoice.com, 760 WJR's podcast homepage. Get all your favorite WJR content delivered directly to your desktop or mobile device. Plus, uncover new podcasts you can only find on thegreatvoice.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
He wants the U.S. to do more to help Israel. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The United States and our partners across the region are working to build a better future for the Middle East.
President Biden addressing us from the White House. For Fox's Jared Halpern reports
describing Hamas as pure, unadulterated evil. The president says the U.S. must ensure Israel has what it needs to protect its people today and always.
That will sharpen Israel's qualitative military edge.
President Biden says a security package will also ensure other hostile actors know Israel is stronger than ever and prevent the conflict with Hamas from spreading.
The majority of the president's $100 million request to Congress isn't military aid to Israel. Some of it's for Ukraine, a lot of it. Defend off Russia's invasion.
Weapons they need to defend themselves in their country without interruption.
Some Republicans do not support that. Presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy says,
I am worried from Ukraine to what's happening in the Middle East. We are quietly sleepwalking our way into World War III.
It's day 14 of Israel's war against Hamas, and as both sides keep attacking each other, a ground invasion is considered imminent. Israeli Defense Forces Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner tells Fox.
Israeli society is very, very prepared for a long fight against the terrorist organization.
We'll hear from Jim Jordan this morning, and he may seek a third vote in his attempt to be House Speaker. Congressman Scott Fitzgerald supports him and just told Fox Business.
We're not sure. A lot can change even overnight on where some of these members are.
Some Republicans refused to back Jordan. He was 17, then 18 votes shy of two prior attempts. The circuit court judge was gunned down in his own driveway last night in Hagerstown, Maryland. Andrew Wilkinson found shot, bleeding, rushed to a hospital where he died. Police still looking for the killer. In Washington, D.C., a police officer was shot and seriously wounded, but is stable this morning. The gunman was killed and police returned fire. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood block shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Your Friday commute is too bad. We do have one accident, southbound 275 at N14. That's been moved off to the right shoulder. Construction-wise, northbound 75 at McNichols. That right lane is closed till 3:30 this afternoon. Northbound 75 between 11 and 12 Mile, right lane closed there as well. That one is in place until 5 o'clock. And then weekend construction, 75 scheduled to close in both directions between Springwells and Clark Street beginning at 9 p.m. until Monday morning at 5 a.m. Same story with northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and IBEW Local 58. Need charging expertise and installation for your commercial, public, school, fleet, or home? Count on NECA signatory contractors and IBEW Local 58 electricians with EVITP training and certification to get the job done right the first time. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. Kind of a chilly, wet fall weekend ahead of us. Overcast with showers throughout the day today. High of 59. Right now it's 53. Cloudy with spotty showers tonight and a low of 45. And then showers throughout the day again tomorrow, a high of 55. We finally could see some sunshine on Sunday, partly cloudy and a high of 51. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR and Weather.
As a business owner, maybe ask yourself, why can't I find quality employees? Or maybe, why do I have so much turnover? What you should be asking yourself is, why don't I take advantage of registered apprenticeships to attract the people I need? Registered apprenticeships can help any business in any field immediately fill positions while expanding your company's access to state and federal resources for talent development. Just visit michigan.gov/apprenticeship. That's michigan.gov/apprenticeship.
Kearns Brothers Roofing is giving all military veterans a chance to get a free roof for their home through their Veteran Rooftop Giveaway. Make your submission today at info.kearnsbrothers.com/KearnsRoofForVet. And for a free roof inspection, visit KearnsBrothers.com.
There's the old way to shake your moneymaker, and there's the new way.
Hi, 500 times moneymaker, please.
500 times moneymaker, the new $50 instant game from the Michigan Lottery, has everyone doing a happy dance. How about this for a two-step? 50 chances to win, and top instant prizes of $6 million. And for a twist, you can multiply your prize up to 500 times. So hustle in and get your 500 times moneymaker today, because a lot of play can make your day. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Hi, everybody. It's Mitch Albom. Hey, do you have a long list of clients to thank this holiday season? Well, you can take the pledge and send everyone a delicious tin of brown bag popcorn. Every purchase you make helps needy citizens right through our state of Detroit charities. So you go to brownbagpopcorn.com/pledge. From 10 people to 100 people or more, our team makes it easy and we can deliver anywhere in the United States. Get all the details at brownbagpopcorn.com/pledge. brownbagpopcorn.com/pledge.
Live from Huntington Place, this is JR Morning with Guy Gordon, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Coming to you from the Detroit Goodfellows 33rd Annual Tribute Breakfast. Since 1914, the Detroit Goodfellows mission has been no kitty without a Christmas. Now, here's Guy Gordon.
And as we learned from Beth Connolly, the CEO of Goodfellows, the need is greater than it's ever been. The problem is the haves are doing okay. The have-nots are doing worse.
Yeah.
There were some interesting numbers that came out yesterday. For instance, Americans got richer during the pandemic. U.S. median household net worth is up to $192,000. That is a record. Black Americans are doing better than they have ever done. It was a 60% increase in median net worth of Black households between 2019 and 2022. It's suggesting that their financial well-being recovered far faster after the pandemic than it did after the recession. But again, that's an average. And when you look deeper into the numbers, you find those that aren't participating in that growth are in deep trouble. Jerome Powell came out yesterday that he has read some tea leaves. The fight against inflation, not over yet. He's saying there is additional evidence that we've got growth that is above trend for trying to get inflation under control, and hinted that there may be yet more interest rate increases. Not all what the markets wanted to hear. In the statistical department, though, here in the city of Detroit, Lloyd, we know the crime numbers are always followed very carefully. We got some good news yesterday.
Yeah, Guy, the city of Detroit is reporting that major crimes in the city are trending downward. Detroit police reported to the Detroit Police Commissioners at its meeting yesterday the latest crime stats. Homicide is down 11% in the city, non-fatal shootings down 9%, carjacking down 32%. Now, many say that the numbers are trending down because citizens are getting involved. They're just tired of crime in their neighborhoods, and they're standing up and they're speaking out. Detroit Police Chief James White will be here with us this morning at 7:49. We'll be speaking with him about these decreasing crime numbers and some other things.
And we'll look forward to that. We're also going to be speaking to Mayor Mike Duggan about those numbers and also about his efforts to try to reform the way that the property tax structure is undertaken in the city of Detroit. Trying to make sure that these people that want to speculate on land and sit on it forever are rewarded for that. It feeds the blighted properties that we see. Covering government has never been tougher, and it's never tougher anywhere than the state of Michigan. Jamie.
Yeah, that's right, Guy. Michigan is one of only 2 states to fully exempt both the governor's office and legislature from public records requests by citizens, reporters, and watchdogs. 10 months in, with these new majorities, Michigan Democrats have yet to introduce promised public records and lobbying reforms. Lawmakers say they are working on bills but don't expect passage until next year at the earliest, and that includes the expansion of the Freedom of Information Act and tighter lobbying rules. Representative Erin Burns is chair of the House Ethics and Oversight Committee. She says more research is needed. There's Republican criticism for this. Quote, for whatever reason, transparency does not seem to be at the top of the Democrats' list. That's according to Representative Mike Harris of Waterford Township. Burns would counter and say that Republicans had full control of state government several times, but failed to enact any of these laws, but now they're clamoring for them. So, of course, there's the back and forth. Governor Whitmer has said this is a priority for her since winning in her 2018 campaign, but 5 years later, Whitmer has not opened her office to public records requests and did not identify any transparency legislation as a top priority this year.
Yeah, I mean, she was the one that came out and said, I'm going to do this when she was running for office. And that's been 5 years now. And it's so infuriating. Now, you remember during ballot proposals in 2022, there is a financial disclosure element there that is mandatory. They got to do that by the end of this legislative session. Right. So we may see some sunshine there with lawmakers forced to disclose their sources of income.
So there's that.
You're going to have
but
that.
It's not the
but
goal.
everything else, our ability as reporters to dig into
Absolutely.
emails.
I was just saying, thinking that.
You know, all of that. And John Oosting, if you can, does this write-up in Bridge on it.
Yeah, I was going to say good for them for following up on a previous article.
I mean, this is something that when the Democrats took control, they said, we're definitely going to do this. Well, I understand. And Aaron Burns saying, well, the Republicans had 40 years in the room, and other Republicans have been trying to get this done. In his case, I think he's been at this 6 years now. Ed McBroom, who's a Republican lawmaker from the Upper Peninsula. Do you know that the House Ethics and Oversight Committee, which is responsible for this, has not met since June? It's garbage.
That's uncalled for.
So this is why I think so many Michigan residents are so cynical about the legislature.
That's exactly why.
And politics. You keep spoon feeding us nonsense, and then you don't deliver. Don't tell us how honest you are when the moment that you have the opportunity to really make a difference and allow us to see what's going on. It's not just the media. There are a lot of citizen journalists now, government watchdogs. They do a great job with this.
Yeah. And the minute you get out of politics, you go into lobbying. There's a problem with that.
Yeah. How's that revolving door? Don't that revolving door hit you on your way out to become a lobbyist. We should point out, by the way, if you're joining us via the normal channels here on your radio, you can also follow us live and see us as we broadcast live on Facebook Live, also on the WJR YouTube channel. You can tune in and join us. And actually, we got all gussied up for this event.
did.
And this is, this is a swanky thing. Can we also send a little love to Lomas Brown?
Yes. Congratulations to Lomas for being one of the Grand Marshal.
That's exciting. He's such a great guy.
Yes, he is. And Huel Perkins.
Huel Perkins as well. Great
Yes.
ambassador, 33 years anchoring at Fox 2.
Yes.
Which is, I got to tell you, I think it's one of the longest runs I've ever seen in local television at the anchor desk.
And he decided to do it, to go out his own way.
He certainly did. And so he's being honored. But Lomas Brown, the host of WJR Sports Wrap every night at 6 p.m. here in WJR, is going to be sharing those Grand Marshal duties with Huel. And both great ambassadors for the city of Detroit.
Great choices.
Detroit
Great
legend.
choices. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We got a legend that just arrived, and again, you can check in on him on Facebook Live and WJR's channel on YouTube. Paul W. Smith joining us. You got to push the button.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, Paul. I have to every guest I ever had, they pressed the button for them, and I'm a guest here. But I had forgotten just how long that walk is from the parking garage.
Yes.
It is.
I started yesterday.
It is. You've already worked off your breakfast even before it's arrived.
I have indeed.
So congratulations on that. We've got to get to WJR's Business Beat. We'll be talking more with Paul, but first, let's get to Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of Startup Nation, to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community here on WJR. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Guy. We all fear it, right? AI is coming for our jobs. And now a new report from Morgan Stanley forecasts that indeed AI will have what they call a substantial influence on the job market, both positively and negatively, with a projected $4.1 trillion economic impact on the workforce, affecting more than 40% of all of the labor force within the next 3-year time frame. The bottom line is that while AI will be a positive in many ways for businesses, even for some employees as well, the reality is that for many employees, particularly those holding jobs in areas that are most in jeopardy of being displaced by AI, those involved in at a fundamental level, be at least aware of, but more to the point, start considering deploying AI in ways that keep you competitive. There just simply is no doubt about it, guys. Few things have and will have an impact on business like AI. So it's important for those employees, businesses as well, to get focused on the reality of what's coming now. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, and that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement, Sunday afternoon to 2. The firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by
Christian Care Ministry.
This good news, exactly when you need it. Right now, switching to MediShare can save you even more than usual, on top of what you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, especially given how inflation is affecting us. And MediShare is the affordable, reliable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves about $500 a month. You might save even more. And MediShare is a Christian community that's been sharing each other's healthcare costs for 30 years now, and they're making it easier than ever. Apply by October 31st. You can save an additional $150 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have, and start saving. Here it is. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
You're more than a student at Ferris State. You're a bulldog. Hey, this is Bill Payne, president of Ferris State University. And whether you're conquering challenges in the classroom or dominating the field as one of our national champions, being a bulldog means never letting go of your goals. Whether you're a business leader, a healthcare hero,
an esports innovator, or have your sights set on another extraordinary path, at Ferris State, you'll accelerate your life forward at the speed of infinite. So unleash the bulldog at Ferris State University. Apply now at ferris.edu.
Attention, fellow baby boomers. It's that time of year again. Guy Gordon here, speaking to you today on behalf of my longtime friends at Senior Health Medicare. I trust these expert friends so much that they continue to assist my mom, my wife, and are now guiding me with essential information for seniors age 65 and above. WJR will continue to inform our listeners 65 and up on the continual adjustments to Medicare. They will drill on all aspects of Medicare, how it affects hospital care, along with prescription drug plans. Call today for a free plan comparison and to learn more about policies such as hospital indemnity. Thousands of WJR listeners have already received savings by just taking the time to speak with Senior Health Medicare. The review only takes minutes for them to assist you like they assisted my family. Let Senior Health Medicare become your local experts. Visit seniorhealthmedicare.com today for your no-obligation review. Call 248-230-8595. That's 248-230-8595.
Recovery needs to be strong and to know how to overcome. Call Oakland Community Health Network today and start your recovery journey. Life-changing, free to low-cost substance use treatment services available to you at 248-464-6363.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
You need to
stop
and
check out the wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from the station's network.
We have just one crash on the roads right now. That's Telegraph northbound Meadow Way. Traffic is slow from Maple Road because of it. Northbound 275 and southbound 275 between Will Carlton and Eureka Road. Two left lanes are closed for construction there. Traffic slow as you approach that area. That's expected to wrap up later this afternoon. Northbound 75 at McNichols, the right lane closed there until 3:30 this afternoon. Northbound 75 between 11 and 12 Mile, right lane closed there as well till 5 o'clock this afternoon. An upcoming weekend construction, 75 scheduled to close in both directions between Springwells and Clark's, starting at 9 o'clock this evening until Monday morning at 5 a.m. Same with northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
I'm real excited about widespread heavy rainfall as the rain showers will continue to kind of plague us here through the day. Chilly weather is average high 61, probably close to that today. With the clouds and the chance of showers will be high. Probably won't feel like tonight. Showers 44, a little cool in the suburbs and breezy.
Will the green and white own the night? You're invited to tune in Saturday for this season's big game on the banks of the Red Cedar as the Michigan State Spartans welcome the Michigan Wolverines to East Lansing. All the action gets underway with Steve Courtney's tailgate show at 4:30 p.m.
And here at the Huntington Place, as we get ready for the Goodfellows breakfast, we got the Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences tuning up with a great Four Tops hit. I think you're adorable.
They sound
Really
great.
sweet.
And we welcome in the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that woke you up for 27 years on these airwaves, Paul W. Smith, or is it Paul M. Smith this weekend?
Paul wakes me up still.
Well,
I mean, I appreciate it very much. I appreciate that. Paul W. always, my heart is maize and blue. I root for Michigan State every game, but this one, even they understand that.
And you're wearing your heart literally on your sleeve.
Well, I was kind of quiet.
No,
I want you to
pulling
see
you
it.
out right here.
I got a black Kim that Kim put on. This is just one of my regular Costco Kirkland brand. Beautiful. They are. 100% cotton shirt. I did see. I've bought millions of them, and I used to pay $17.99. I was reading the other day, they're up to $25.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Oh, the horror. Oh, the humanity.
$25. But they wear, and you can't stain them.
Paul, I gotta say,
they're the best shirts I've ever had.
I cannot believe you shop in Costco for clothing.
Just the shirts.
Okay.
Oh,
that's why the prices went up.
I've got the occasional cashmere sweater there. They have specials, and I don't just go there and get my whole outfit. The suit,
Okay.
the suit did not.
Are you
come.
also giving out samples there occasionally? How much do you
Well,
chip in there?
now that I have this time on my hands, I very well may do that, guy. That's a good idea. A nice pack, a little extra thing. I don't believe I did this for 27 years here, getting up this early because it's so hard to get up now. It's people ask me if I like the new show. I'm getting used to the new show, but I'm loving sleeping in.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
that is just I can't even tell you.
No, I will tell you when you
you
you got to wake up with Ann Thomas, and that was a pretty great thing to come in
Yeah,
and
I had
share
to
the
work that
morning
out
with
with
someone.
Ed, husband.
Yeah,
But-
share somebody that
Yeah.
delightful. But Lloyd and I get to now share it with Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great
So
treat.
this is
You
this
guys-
is this is worth waking up.
You
for.
guys sound good. I have felt bad because I've had people say they miss me, and I say I'm not gone. I'm on noon to 2. Well, I can't listen noon to 2. Well,
That's what podcasts are
that
for.
breaks my heart. So I keep promoting WJR, thegreatvoice.com. That's it, thegreatvoice.com, and they can listen to all of this at any time. And but I knew I was leaving my family of listeners, who I do miss, in good hands, guy. Originally with you, and then it just got better.
And then we called in the reinforcements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lloyd
No,
Jamie, and
it's-
any
it's
number of
just-
people that you have now joining.
we're having a ton of fun, and it does make it easier when you've got two partners that are just delightful to be with. In addition,
Wait a minute, partners, is he delightful?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
All
I
right, just
really
checking. I
enjoyed
want to
it.
make sure this is well balanced.
yes, I've reformed from my angry anchor days. The anchor monster's been retired, but yeah, we got a big football game coming up, and this is going to be a big weekend.
You know, Jamie said to me before we got on the air, "Oh, it's going to be a blowout. Michigan's going to blow them out." I hate to hear
I
that.
do believe that, Paul.
I am.
It's like
in
a
this
jinx,
regard-
isn't it?
is. I am superstitious in this regard.
I understand. Yeah.
And if you've been around as long as I have been, and I hope you will be, we've seen Michigan or Ohio State or even Michigan State in the mix, blowing up the other team's dreams. Somebody's on their way to a national title, and boom, they get beaten by one of these teams who was never expected to win, but does. So I never, nor I'm sure does the coach, take any of this for granted. By the way, this latest thing, what is it? The NCAA, what a joke. And they had to do this days before a major state rivalry.
Yeah.
When we're going into, I think we're going to a bye next week. Nick Roddy is the expert on sports.
Talking about the sign stealing allegations.
Yeah,
coming from
it's
the NCAA.
ridiculous. Ridiculous. If it's nothing, first of all, and secondly, they could have announced this after this game, but no, they wanted to do it before the game. And if you tell me that they didn't think of that, they didn't know that it's disruptive, phooey.
They want to
I
hype
can say that.
They
But
wanna hype the
Jamie
game.
said
You want to hype the game.
they're not hyping the game;
Well, that's-
they're
that's what they
hurting the game.
think. Yeah,
And Jamie
yeah.
said, "Well, the NCAA doesn't like Jim Harbaugh."
I
Shame on them.
also believe the two incorporated other investigations.
So they're still
Yeah.
COVID.
smarting.
Well, whatever.
Uh,
You have to do. You
yes.
guys do have a job.
You could do that.
I have to introduce 70.
Biggest day of
70
history.
people.
Oh
Who
wow.
introduces 70 people?
The good news is they're all your close personal friends. So
Yeah.
people
And then
you've known for
they'll
years.
be amazed how I mispronounced their last name. I've known Paul for 50 years. How come he said that? Well, now you're going to know.
That's a lot of people. Your script looks very fat over there.
Well, just the names alone has
Yeah.
a separate script.
Oh my God!
Crazy.
I'm going to put you to work very quickly, though. Did you happen to see the president's address from the Oval last night?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think?
I thought for President Joe Biden, it was a good speech.
So that bar, when you say that, are you saying that bar is pretty
Qualifying
low?
it, yeah.
That bar is
on the
that
ground?
bar is so low. The world's greatest limbo artist could not get under that. That's how low that bar is.
Nevertheless, he made a very, I thought, strong case for America's place in the world as a beacon of hope and inspiration to those needing that.
I watch Fox, I watch CNN, and it's two different worlds.
It is.
I mean, it is completely different worlds. And the Fox people, as you might guess, wanted some more red meat. They wanted to hear about the Americans that were killed and maybe are being held hostage. They wanted to hear Hamas. They wanted to hear what we were going to do. We weren't going to let Hamas do this to our people or to the Israelis.
Well, then just don't say don't to Hezbollah. Tell them exactly what the consequences are going to be if they do.
Right. There you go. That's better.
Yeah.
Don't just say, you better not. Okay. Or, and I asked people yesterday, whatever today is, I asked, what is the or else?
Exactly.
So what are they going to do to Iran when they realize, and somehow everyone knows, but when they realize Iran is funding and underscoring everything that goes on, period.
Paul, I got to tell you, when he said, I was pleased that he called out Iran, that he said, we're going to hold you accountable. Well, again, you've had opportunities to hold Iran accountable by strangling their oil sales, and they have increased significantly. I think up to, 30 billion now?
Yeah, they're doing great.
So
here's my issue is this, and I've said it, I started saying this a long time ago. If we had, God forbid, a world crisis and had to go up against Russia or up against China, we might do okay. But if we have to go up against the team that is now existing, Russia and China, we're done. And I don't think people understand how serious I am about saying that.
But that's why you have to stop them with these adventures.
They are laughing their butts off at us right now.
Yeah.
If anyone loves this, they love this because it's taking our minds and eyes off them, which we cannot afford to do. Guy, take it away, guy.
And we'll be back.
Think
you guys don't have a
identity theft
clock
won't
here.
happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S. Over 15 million this year alone. And many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss, even when you monitor your credit. If your identity is stolen, your dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today. Take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just want to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group,
present different threats, but they share this in common. They both want to completely annihilate and democracy, completely annihilate.
President, American leadership is what holds the world together. Police in Maryland are investigating a judge's murder.
Someone shot and killed a circuit court judge at his home in Hagerstown, Maryland. Washington County deputies say they responded Thursday night and found 52-year-old Andrew Wilkinson in his driveway bleeding. They rushed him to the hospital where he died.
Carmen Roberts police have not said anything about a possible motive. Publicly identified as suspect, Judge Wilkinson was sworn in about 3 years ago. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We have a crashes on the roadways this morning. Northbound Telegraph at Meadow Way. That's causing delays to Maple Road. Southbound Telegraph after a Long Lake accident there as well. Northbound and southbound 275 between Will Carlton and Eureka Road. Those two left lanes have been closed for some time. The good news is that's scheduled to wrap up later this afternoon. Northbound 75 at McNichols, right lane closed there today until 3:30. Northbound 75 between 11 and 12 mile, right lane closed there as well. That's scheduled to wrap up 5 o'clock this afternoon. And weekend construction beginning 9 p.m. this evening. 75 scheduled to close in both directions between Springwells and Clark Street until 5 a.m. Monday morning. Same with northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Looks like it's going to be kind of a wet, soggy weekend. Overcast with showers throughout the day today. We'll see a high of 59. Right now, it's 53. Cloudy with spotty showers tonight and a low of 45. Showers throughout the day tomorrow, high of 55. And finally, some sunshine for Sunday. Partly cloudy and a high of 51. I'm Renee Vitale, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Recovery needs to be strong and to know how to overcome. Call Oakland Community Health Network today and start your recovery journey. Life-changing, free to low-cost substance use treatment services available to you at 248-464-6363.
Hi, folks. Craig Hubble, General Manager at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. Are you turning in your GM lease this month? Turn it into Crestview Cadillac. We are your GM lease turn-in specialist for any GM brand. Here's why. We have lease turn specialists on hand anytime for any GM lease. We make it easier and we make it faster. You turn in your keys and we'll handle your paperwork. And while you're here, see our new Cadillac Escalades and Lyrics. For turning in any GM lease, turn it right into Crestview Cadillac on Rochester Road or shop us at CrestviewCadillac.com.
Buddy's Pizza, with its iconic square-shaped and crispy, crunchy corners, has been satisfying cravings for decades. Enjoy 10% off Buddy's award-winning pizza with promo code 10MEAL. 10EAL. Order now at Buddy'sPizza.com. Get your free roof inspection today at KearnsBrothers.com. That's KearnsBrothers.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
This is good news, exactly when you need it to. Right now, switching to MediShare can save you even more than usual. On top of what you'll save each month by becoming a member of MediShare. So many people are looking for a healthcare solution right now, especially given how inflation is affecting us. And MediShare is the affordable, reliable alternative to health insurance. The typical family saves about $500 a month. You might save even more. And MediShare is a Christian community that's been sharing each other's healthcare costs for 30 years now. They're making it easier than ever. Apply by October 31st. You can save an additional $150 on your first month. I'll give you the number here in a second. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Maybe now is the time to make the switch, like more than 400,000 people already have. Start saving. Here it is. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Welcome back to more JR Morning on WJR. Live today at the Detroit Goodfellows 33rd Annual Tribute Breakfast. Once again, direct from Huntington Place. Here are Guy, Lloyd, and Jamie.
Welcome back to the Goodfellas breakfast with Guy and Lloyd and some special guests.
Yes, we were just saying hello to the McNamara recipients, the McNamara Award for our philanthropy and good works. We're joined by Nancy and Arn Tellem, who are going to be feted, or is it?
I'll go either way.
Honored, even better. Welcome. Nice to be
It's
here.
great to be here.
A little difficult getting up this early, but
Yes.
it is.
Getting
Dressed, showered.
Not as much traffic this
time in the
Right.
right?
Exactly.
What does it mean to you to be feted in this way at this event, with the history here?
This is going to be a difficult interview because Arn usually starts speaking and I interrupt. But Arn, I'll let you start.
This is it's been 44 years of negotiation between Nancy and me. No, I think for both of us, we're so proud to be part of this community. We're honored to be part of this community. And this is a wonderful organization that does so many great things for young children in Detroit. And so we're here to help that organization and support it. And we're delighted to be here. It's a great honor. With the list of who's been honored is it's an incredible list of people. And for us to be on it, we don't understand why, but we're happy to be here.
Exactly.
Well, your commitment to the city of Detroit is why. And both of you have been deeply involved within minutes of your arrival By the way,
Yeah, as transplant.
did you
Yes.
know that your mug is on a mug this morning?
You know what? I just noticed that. It really is very unnerving.
It's a great picture of Nancy and Aaron.
That's my picture from about 30 years ago.
Exactly.
You still look the same.
But you know what? We'll take it.
You weren't
It's
wearing your
fine.
sexy specs for this photo. But, especially as an organization, the Pistons have expanded their footprint here. Once you came down to LCA, we've got the practice facility and a number of other developments as well.
No, we when we moved down to Detroit, it wasn't about just playing our games here. We wanted to be all in on Detroit and really be part of its revitalization. So we built a headquarters and training facility downtown. We've done a number of interesting projects. We're building a community center in Cody Rouge now, where we just announced a new partnership with Henry Ford and Michigan State, which is going to be a massive redevelopment in the new center area. We just completed our 60th basketball court like a month ago, which we promised the mayor as part of our move to extend the revitalization into the neighborhoods to restore these beautiful parks. So we've done a lot, and we're going to continue to do a lot more.
I think Nancy is very impressive. I heard you speak on many a panel, and
She is.
you are just a champion for women, and you started Bass Blue here in town. What is that? Tell people.
Is
Boss Blue, pardon.
Yeah, you know what? It could work other ways. Some call it Bob Blue because there is a French,
okay,
starting of it. But it's a nonprofit organization that is really focused on women and non-binary individuals to really foster economic mobility. I applied here. It's hard to believe. 8 years ago, I really noticed that there was a need for a space, for a safe and welcoming space for women to come network, access resources, and for programming. So it was kind of a vision that, as I was kind of exploring whether it really was something as an outsider that the city really needed, the women I spoke with, and I spoke to, frankly, I had panels of over 75 women who all said we desperately need something like that. So based on what they said, we designed a house that we felt was really we have a cafe, we have areas for private events, and but most importantly, areas to connect and to work with one another. So it's been really wonderful. And in fact, last night we celebrated our 2nd anniversary with a Boss Blue Cup. So it was a wonderful fundraising event.
I love that.
Our Detroit Lions, well, the Red Wings are doing well. We're optimistic about the Pistons this season. Cade is back to coach.
Healthy?
Yes.
No, we're very excited. The season starts next Wednesday. I can't wait to see our young core players, the progress we've made. We're hoping to be like the Lions last year. We're on our way. It's been taken a few years to really sort of put together a young nucleus of players through the draft. But Cade's back 100% healthy. Ivy, Duran, Sar Thompson looks great. Our rookie from this year. We have a good player. We have a new coach that's exciting. I think Monty was the best hire we could have made for the job at the right time. And I think the season's going to be an exciting one for the fans of Detroit.
You're not saying you're hoping to start 1-6 like the Lions season.
To
see that progress.
Right.
Let's clear.
Get the start, but well, I have to say it is a long season. We have a very tough schedule at the beginning. We play the Lakers, Phoenix, Milwaukee. It's a brutal start, but it's how you finish. And the way the Lions finished, I think, showed that they were on their way.
But it's also how you test those young guys and get some development early on. Throwing them in the deep end is not a bad thing.
No, they need experience. They need to play. They got to get their feet wet. That's the best training and for their development. And I think we're ready. We're going to put on a good product this year. We're really excited about where we're headed.
And at least in the preseason, they've shown that they can come back, force overtime, hit some shots. So that's good moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, Bonnie, I think you'll see the impact immediately. I think our defense is going to be a lot better. And they play tough, they be resilient, and there's hope. Hope is the lifeblood of the sports team.
Well, there's more to tell about.
Exactly.
It is. Hope for a brighter Christmas for the neediest of Detroit's children. You've been here 8 years. we were already in Detroit on the upswing when you arrived, and through your good works, it's even accelerated that process. But we still have this core of poverty, which it seems so intractable. But this is a good step forward with what happens on mornings like this one.
I think we all feel that we have to give our children a better future, do everything we can to improve their lives. This organization does that kind of work, and that's why we're here to support it. But what I think impressed Nancy and I since we first moved here was just how many organizations, how many people, everyone seemed to be willing to go together to try to not just make this about the business area of Detroit, but about the whole city of Detroit and really improve the lives of the young people here.
And it really does start with the young people, as much as the impact that you can make, the impact that you can have a change in their lives kind of carries on through. And, in my small way at Boss Blue, we have over 700 members, but we have a trailblazing residence program. Those who can't afford to be a member, we give annual memberships for free, so they can partake, enjoy the benefits of being part of the community.
And there are just little anecdotes, little meetings with people, little moments change someone's course of their life.
Huge.
Yeah. So
Huge.
congratulations, both of you, on all the work you do, and the Pistons, their outreach in the communities. All of it is so important. And that's why you're on a mug.
Right.
That's great. As
What an honor, what an honor.
As opposed to a milk carton.
That's
you
right.
just-
Or in the post office.
Yeah, exactly.
It does start with really effective leadership, both in the ranks of businesses like the Pistons, through philanthropy like yours, Nancy, also in the halls of government as well. And we're going to welcome Mike in, our chief of police, here in a moment. They've had a pretty good week with some good news about progress in the city of Detroit.
Great.
But in the meantime, congratulations on this high honor. Thanks for being who you are in our community. Great corporate name.
Thanks so much. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us.
No,
Really
we love being part of this community. This is our home now. We love being here, and we still have a lot more to do here.
And we look forward to that. And good luck Wednesday night.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Go
Exactly.
Pistons.
Thank you.
744 on News Talk 760 WJR, and our thanks to Arn and Nancy Tellem, as I telegraphed there. When we come back, James White, chief of the Detroit Police Department, getting some great news on crime statistics yesterday. He'll share that with you, as well as the mayor of the great city of Detroit, Mike Duggan, joining us live next on JR Morning. Well, here it is, October, and we know how quickly the weather can change. So we're raining a little bit tonight, kind of ugly this weekend, but it'll be in the 60s next week. The question you need to ask yourself is your home ready for the really ugly stuff that we know awaits us a couple of months from now? If you've got questions about that, if there's doubt, reach out to our friends at Burns Brothers Roofing. They're very busy right now, but they will make time for an appointment with you to bring out one of their certified GEF roof consultants, give you that free consultation and free estimate. Check the roof on top of the house, beneath the roof itself. See if structurally you're ready for what winter's going to bring. They've been doing this, doing it better than anybody else for 36 years. They back up what they do with the GAF Infinite Wind Warranty. That comes when they install the 6-part GAF lifetime. 888-355-6700. If you do need work, tell them Guy Gordon sent you from WJR. They'll knock 10% off. Burns Brothers Roofing.
If you own or operate a business, you understand the value of investing in diversifying your financial portfolio. But what about investing in your people? Setting up a registered apprenticeship at your company is the perfect way to attract and retain a diverse group of highly motivated people to fill your highly in-demand positions. And an investment in your people will have a long-lasting impact on your bottom line. Everything you need to get started can be found at michigan.gov/apprenticeship. That's michigan.gov/apprenticeship.
For more than 100 years, the Detroit Goodfellows have been committed to their mission of no kid without a Christmas. Your donation helps fill 26,000 gift boxes with warm clothing, books, toys, a dental kit, and more. Serving children can have a happy holiday. The Goodfellows help children all year long with camperships and shoe and dental programs. Please help continue this tradition of making sure no child is forgotten. Holiday or any day. Learn more and donate today at DetroitGoodfellows.org.
Hi, everybody. It's Mitch Albom. Hey, do you have a long list of clients to thank this holiday season? Well, you can take the pledge and send everyone a delicious tin of brown bag popcorn. Every purchase you make helps needy citizens right through our state Detroit charities. So you go to brownbagpopcorn.com/pledge. From 10 people to 100 people or more, our team makes it easy and we can deliver anywhere in the United States. Get all the details at brownbagpopcorn.com/pledge. brownbagpopcorn.com/pledge.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. There's a whole lot of savings going on now at Staples. During Staples Citathon, save up to $150 on select office and desk chairs. And when you buy a chair, you save 25% on desk, storage solutions, and office accessories. In-store only offer ends 10/28. Now is the time to save at Staples.
We have a couple of crashes on the roads right now. Northbound Telegraph at Meadow Way, that is causing delays to Maple Road. Southbound Telegraph after Long Lake Road, an accident there as well. Seeing delays on westbound 696 between DeQuinder and 75. Same with eastbound 94 between Warren Avenue and 75. And northbound on the Southfield Freeway, that's heavy between Warren Avenue and Plymouth Road. Weekend construction coming up. 75 scheduled to close in both directions between Springwells Clark Street beginning this evening at 9 o'clock and going until Monday morning at 5 a.m. Same with northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Native Stem Cell. Are you suffering from wrist, hand, or ankle arthritis and there seems to be no good options? If so, the Reviva-Stem procedure performed exclusively at Native Stem Cell may be the answer for you. Call today to see how stem cell therapy can avoid painful surgical treatment. Here's your forecast.
All right, radar showing a couple of light rain showers scattered around this morning. Not a bunch of rainfall back and forth from the wipers a few times. You're probably out of it. And still catch showers this afternoon with this upper level low trying to swing through. Breezy, 60. Tonight, a little breeze, a few showers. Drop to 44. Suburbs will be a tad cooler. And Saturday, clouds. And a few showers again. Highs in the mid 50s. Again, not a washout, but if you don't want to get wet, grab the rain gear. Sunday looks better. Sunshine but cool. Highs only in the low 50s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray State, 760 WJR, Michigan comes to talk.
Call or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
It is one of the happiest and most generous mornings you will ever find, talking about the Goodfellows breakfast as we are here live from the Huntington Place, joined by the mayor of the state of Detroit.
It's a city.
It's a little early for me, but yeah, it's been a good week already. Some amazing statistics in that Detroit is a much safer place than it was. Mike Duggan, good morning.
It is. It was a great day this morning. Of course, the violence is way down. Chief White and the police have done a great job. But in case anybody missed it, last night, Stephen Ross, at the University of Michigan, got final approval of a $250 million graduate campus in Grand River in Detroit. And it's going to be one of the elite grad schools for software technology, climate change, and mobility design. It's going to drive companies coming to this town for decades to come. It's just been, a lot of good things happening, a lot of generous people.
I've been here in town for 11 years doing some news stories here and there, and the flood attack in tenure has been amazing.
Well, we started at 47,000 abandoned houses owned by the land bank. We're down to 5,000. In 18 months, we'll be at zero. Who's counting?
That's amazing.
Mr. Mayor, I know you have the land value tax that was going to be voted on up in the state house. It didn't get a vote.
Do you understand why they won't let Detroit have a vote on this?
It doesn't have anything to do with Detroit. There's a bunch of politics going on in Lansing. But here's the thing. Our low-income families, we did a HOPE exemption so that low-income seniors don't pay property taxes. High-income folks have their own tax breaks, but the middle class that's stuck, I just wanted to do something for them. It's an average savings of $180 a year. It's not everything that you would want, And we just want to change the vote on it. But, next Thursday, I'm doing a community meeting, and we've now got this app that we're going to roll out where you can put in your address and see how your tax will be affected. We've got a whole bunch of misinformation, largely funded by front groups for the scrapyard. That's what's really going on here. And the simple way to counter it is, I want an app where every single person can put in their address. Did I say $50? Did I say $500? You'll be able to see for yourself, and I'm confident we'll get through. And all we're saying to these outstate legislators is let Detroiters vote for themselves. What's your problem?
Well, it's so important to fight with facts, right? Because for years we've had property tax estimators on different websites showing that Detroit wasn't very competitive with our suburban neighbors in terms of millages that you're going to pay. But that helps to give a much more complete picture.
But there's no doubt about it. If you are a homeowner in Detroit with a personal exemption, you're paying 67 mills. And in Warren and South and Dearborn, they're probably paying 53, 55 mills. Everybody in Detroit knows this. The surrounding suburbs are paying less for the same house. And with the land value tax, the Detroit homeowners will go down to the rate of the surrounding suburbs, and we'll double the taxes on the abandoned buildings, on the vacant lots, on the scrapyards, on the surface parking lots. We shifted from the homeowners to people who haven't really built up their property.
Exactly.
And I think most Detroiters, they get a chance to vote. It won't be a close election. We got some people who are furiously trying to make sure Detroiters can't make that decision for themselves.
Mayor, you were talking about creating some solar farms in the city as well, and generating power to city buildings. I know that was a application process that ended on October 2nd.
October 31st. So we're going to
still
see.
time.
We're going to do this. This climate change. I'm so tired of politicians who are engaged in performance of climate change and give great speeches but don't do anything. In Detroit, we're going to do something. We are going to put all of the city buildings onto renewable energy, onto solar-powered energy by building solar fields in largely abandoned stretches of the city of Detroit. And the neighbors are nominating their own areas, drawing their own boundaries, making their own proposals. So I expect October 31st, 8 to 10 proposals to come in from around the city. And we're going to pay benefits to the surrounding neighborhoods. So we'll build a 30-acre solar park, but we'll have $10,000 or $20,000 for the home down there to do energy efficiencies, new roofs, new windows, new furnaces for their homes. So you strengthen the entire neighborhood.
So you're not saying this is what we're going to do. They have to say, this is what we want to do.
The neighbors are going to apply. And I expect to get more applications than we can accept. And we're going to take the 250 acres that are the easiest to connect to the grid. And so October 31st, we will see. But right now, we have 10 neighborhood groups partnering with solar power experts who are putting their proposals in. I expect to see close to 10 proposals October 31st.
You're celebrating Riverfront too.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy is going to complete that 3.5 mile stretch.
It's been remarkable. Of course, I grew up here and we didn't know we had a river. I mean, the whole riverfront was industrial and cement silos. The public didn't have access to it. And with what the Riverfront Conservancy has done in basically 15 years, you are now going to be able to walk on the water from the Belle Isle Bridge almost all the way to the Bassett Bridge, where the city of Detroit has built out a fantastic riverside park. And in the middle, next year, the Ralph Wilson Park near the post office is going to have maybe the most spectacular park in the city that's going to be open. But I just can't say enough good about what the Riverfront Conservancy has done for this city. And you know what it's like here on the weekends. I mean, thousands of people gathered along the water.
Well, you're getting national awards for having a beautiful riverfront around. Those things, nobody gets into it for the awards, but it's nice when people finally acknowledge it because of so long they used to parachute in here and diss us.
What's so funny is 2 nights ago I was in Chicago to speak at a major conference, one of the accounting firms, and everybody wanted to talk about it. I'm in downtown Chicago doing slides of the riverfront in Detroit, development in Detroit, and the crime coming down in Detroit. And to have people in Chicago come up envious of what's going on in Detroit, I never thought I'd see that day.
And those are the people that invented the term Gold Coast, right?
For sure. I mean, as a kid, I was so jealous when I go to Chicago and see what they did with their lakefront, the visionary leadership that made that public space. And really, in basically 15 years, the Riverfront Conservancy has done the same thing here.
Mr. Mayor, we had Devil's Night, we had Angels Night, now we have Halloween at the D. Totally different now.
There's no doubt about it. 6 years of Halloween at the D. We don't talk about Devil's Night or Angels Night anymore, but the children in the city used to grow up with memories of trucks with flashing yellow lights, and they go up. I'd go talk to some of these historically black college universities of recruitment, and the students, they would say, our friends from Detroit say on Halloween, they used to be afraid that their house was going to burn down and there were trucks with yellow lights. I said, I can't have this. So we just flat out stopped it 6 years ago. Did Halloween in the day. We have virtually no fires that week. And now kids who are 10, 11 years old have no memory of that for very long. None of the kids in the city will remember being afraid. They will remember Halloween as a week of joy.
Yeah, just old timers like us will remember and then just marvel.
But then appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're an Wolverine fan. You're also a Garden Lions fan. I got a feeling you're gonna have a pretty good weekend, my friend.
This is unbelievable. Every place they go in the country, all they want to talk about is the Lions.
And the great things happening in Detroit. Mayor Duncan, thanks.
Great to
Get
see you.
answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement, Sunday afternoons at 2.
I have no idea. Sorry. Nothing's long, so it won't be long. Oh my God, it's me. Now here's a big question. Do I have time to go to the bathroom? That's the big question. I'm gonna go. Everyone's not sitting.
The light's a little low here. We appreciate the gold braid. It's giving us a little, illumination here this morning. You had a pretty good day yesterday when you got validation on so many of the initiatives and the efforts that you've undertaken.
Yes. The officers, just unbelievable work. The minimum of the Detroit Police Department. I could not be more proud.
Break down some of the statistics for us.
Well, we are looking at a historic reduction this time of year, right? We look at coming out of the summer surge, what our crime numbers look like. We've got a 15% reduction in homicide, a 5% reduction in sexual assault crimes, 10% reduction in non-fatal shootings, and a 34% reduction in carjacking. We're not celebrating. It's still way too much crime, but we see those types of numbers. That your strategies are working, your plans are working. You've got a great police department that's working hard.
We hear a lot about, Chief, domestic violence. Now there was a domestic violence event that the police department put on yesterday. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, asking about that. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is a crime that crosses all demographics, all professions, social and economic. We've had victims in our own department. We've lost a number of officers to domestic violence. 1 in 4 women still, and 1 in 9 men are victims of domestic violence. We certainly want to make sure that we bring light to these issues, offer resources and opportunities for people who are victimized to have resources to get out and to be safe.
Chief, I was just talking about this with my husband that we don't hear about the Greektown situation anymore. So the plan that you put in place is working over at Greektown. My question to you is, you're on TV all the time talking about the shootings with young children and how horrible that is. What can we do about the guns and the kids getting them and hurting themselves?
Yeah, the guns, there's still way too many guns and way too many irresponsible gun owners in our community. And it's not just a Detroit thing. I saw a story this morning about something that happened in Canton. Same thing, 14-year-old gets a gun and pulls the trigger. If you're going to own a gun, you got to do so. This is my position on weapons. This is about my position on weapon ownership and responsibility and weapon ownership. And we've got a lot of kids. We just had a kid a few weeks back get their hands on a gun and then shoot himself in the face. And it's just absolutely awful. You have to be responsible. We offer gun locks at every precinct. We've even said, challenge us. I will deliver it if I need to your home, give you the gun lock. But we just want to make sure we keep our kids and our community safe.
You know, Chief, I was at the All Abilities Fair that was at the police headquarters, and it was a partnership with Special Olympics and DPSCD to make sure that these young people with disabilities are not left behind and not forgotten.
Well, yes, and all people as well.
Yes.
My age included.
Shout out
And-
to Sanaya Russell, the commander over
Yes,
there.
Tania does amazing work. And the All Abilities Fair was so that we could give resources and offer resources to our entire community. There are a lot of non-visible disabilities that people operate with that we want to make sure we reach. We also offer opportunity. So if you have a disability that is non-visible, but you are sensitive to light, you're sensitive to sound and things such as that you would notify the police department. We could put you into our database. So if you do, unfortunately, get a call to your home 911 call, we know some of the sensitivities that we have to respond to when we get there.
The holiday season on us, that is a great time of year for your department, especially with why we're here with Goodfellas. Do the officers like doing these positive things and getting out in the community?
They love it. Goodfellows it's part of the fabric of our agency. I mean, you're looking at a police chief who benefited from Goodfellows. It was times in my home, being raised by a single parent mom in Detroit, that this was the only gift under our tree. And my sister still has, and she's 50, and she still has one of her dolls that she keeps on her fireplace. So it's a very important part of my life. It's part of our department. Our officers look forward to the newspaper drives, and it's something that we've supported and we're going to continue to support because it's just absolutely wonderful.
And I got to imagine the playing Santa Claus is a nice break from some of the difficult parts of the job.
It is. It's wonderful to get out and interact with the community. We are nothing but a community, and our community is fantastic.
Well, and we should point out that when you see those kinds of declines in statistics, it's just not the law enforcement community that's making the progress. It's with the help and the partnership of people that live in the community.
Absolutely. And thank you for mentioning that. We spend a lot of time talking about a few folks who may not support police, but overwhelmingly our community supports police. We couldn't do what we do without our community. They welcome police service, and they deserve excellence in police service. And like you said, we could not see the numbers of reductions without the trust of the community. So thank you to the community for what they've done with us in this partnership.
And let me say thank you to your men and women on the force too. They have the mental health unit that go out and de-escalate
yes, sir.
these mental health runs that you guys are unfortunately having to go on now.
Yeah, significant increase in mental health. Certainly, we've seen an uptick around the country. We've seen it in Detroit since the onset of COVID, and so we're still working to combat that. We've got a mental health crisis in our city and in our country, and more needs to be done. We need long-term facilities. The answer isn't to send a police officer to the door, but it's in our lap. With the police, we're going to do everything we can, but we are not the experts. But we've got that unit and they're working very hard.
Well, Chief, it seems like you're doing some great work here. We appreciate you joining us at WJR.
And enjoy the holiday season a little bit early. But we'll wish
it's
you,
October, but
but when they start sending those boxes your way, we appreciate you going out and being the bearers of the good tidings.
Well, thank you very much. We're looking forward to a great, safe holiday season, and go Lions.
Go Lions.
Go Lions. Indeed. It's we're seeing a lot of these dolls are dressed both as Spartans, Jamie, and as Wolverine fans. I've noticed. I think that the U of M dolls are outnumbering the state.
Anecdotally, I believe that to be true.
I think we need a little better representation.
Perhaps the dolls know how many points they're favored by.
Yeah, something that we need to look at. We should point out that we got a bit of what we hope is good news, and hope is a positive indicator, and that is a story out of Bloomberg that during the big labor rally at Hart Plaza yesterday, when they pulled him aside, one of the leading negotiators for the UAW mentioned to Bloomberg's David Welsh that we may be getting closer to a tentative agreement.
Yeah, moving toward a tentative agreement that will put an end to the strike against the automaker. It was Mike Booth, who is vice president of the union's GM department and top union negotiator. He said, all the pieces are there. We just have to glue it together. He said, both sides are getting closer, but haven't yet come to an agreement on pay and pensions. Both the union and both Booth and the union met yesterday with GM negotiators, including Chief Executive Officer Mara, and gave the company a comprehensive proposal. The two sides will meet again, today, and they will continue talks. Sean Fain will speak at 4 o'clock, Facebook Live. So we'll see what he has to say about those meetings and what else is going on with Ford and Stellantis.
Meantime, the public relations campaign continues to wage on. We will hear from Sean Fain this afternoon, but we did hear from Gerald Johnson, Executive Vice President for General Motors yesterday, who really kind of laid out just how big the wage part of this contract is. Something that will put them 30 to 40% better than the transplants and Tesla. And that these wage improvements, he really did a great job putting them into context. Have a listen. Cut 7.
The majority of our workforce will make $39.24 an hour, or roughly $82,000 a year by the end of this contract. We know that with built-in bonuses, profit sharing, and opportunity for overtime, that means many will earn more than $100,000 a year. This would put team members amongst the top 25% of full-time American workers.
So the rank and file folks have been saying, well, I want $39 an hour. Well, you got that. And Jamie, when you look at the all-in wage, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, total compensation package averages $150,000 a year per person.
Yeah.
And when you juxtapose that with everyone else working, people think, oh, that looks pretty good.
And when you say, why are they still on strike? Jill Johnson talked about that as well. And he said, look, for us, it's been an existential fight here. We could not do what we need to do over the next many years in terms of investment if we agree to all of the UAW demands. Cut 10.
Over the past 10 years, we've invested more money in our business than we've earned. And if we don't have those profits to continue our investment in our plants, our people, and our products, we will be facing declining market share, an inability to fund the EV transition, and an inability to compete with a growing number of competitors right here in America.
He said the implications for jobs will be devastating, and that's the reality.
So we will hope that glimmer of hope that came out of David Welsh's conversation with Mike Booth does come to fruition. And again, we'll wait to hear what Sean Fain has to say on 4 o'clock this afternoon. When we come back, we've got a big football game here in the state of Michigan tomorrow, 7:30, just a little less than 36 hours from now. We'll check with Steve Courtney on that and a little bit of the controversy that blossomed on the eve of that big game. That's next on JR Morning. We're starting to see the temps really dip down low out there, and we want you to be prepared. And to our friends at CNC Heating and Air, they want to make sure your furnace
DG.com. Hall Financial is the leading client service mortgage brand in Michigan. We're going to give you the lowest rate and the lowest fees every time. If you've got a quote from somebody else, send it to us. We're going to beat it. 866 Call Hall. Chat with us. CallHallFirst.com.
Every week in Michigan Auto Law, people call and say they were in a car accident and they hired a lawyer, but now they regret their choice and they want to switch firms. They say they never hear back from their lawyer. They're frustrated. At Michigan Auto Law, we call you back. Last year, Michigan Auto Law again recovered the largest car accident verdict in the entire state, $14.3 million. At Michigan Auto Law, we care more, so you win more. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
Do you suffer from severe chronic neck, back, sciatic, or even neck pain? If so, then you do not want to miss this event. Join Paul W. Smith this Wednesday, October 25th, 11 a.m. at the Capitol Grill in Troy for another exclusive WJR in the Boardroom learning event. Paul W.'s very special guest will be Dr. Saul Kogan, owner of the Disc Institute. You'll learn about a proven trademark, non-invasive treatment backed by independent medical research. How to eliminate your suffering from neck, back, or sciatic pain due to bulging discs, herniated discs, spinal stenosis, or peripheral neuropathy. The event is free, and lunch will be served afterwards, but you must fully qualify. That's this Wednesday, October 25th, 11 a.m. in the Boardroom with Paul W. Smith and Dr. Saul Kogan. Seating is very limited. Call 586-416 to reserve your seat. That's 586-416-3472.
WGR Traffic and Weather First. This report is sponsored by Discover. If you like using debit over credit, should you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover FDIC.
A couple of crashes on the roads for your Friday commute. Michigan Avenue at Livernois, we have one there, as well as northbound Telegraph at Midway. That's causing slow traffic from Maple Road. Also seeing heavy traffic on southbound 275 between 6 Mile and M14. Same with eastbound 94 between Livernois and Trumbull. And weekend construction, 75 scheduled to close in both directions between Springwells and Clark Street starting at 9 o'clock this evening and going until Monday morning at 5 a.m. Same story on northbound 75 between Dixie Highway and Saginaw Road. Now, WGR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and IBEW Local 58. Need EV charging expertise and installation for your commercial, public, school, fleet, or home? Count on NECA signatory contractors and IBEW Local 58 electricians with EV ITP training and certification to get the job done right the first time. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. Here's your forecast.
I still got to deal with upper level low pressure, getting some scattered light rain showers this morning. As we get into the afternoon hours, we'll still have clouds and a few showers, 60 degrees. Tonight, some scattered showers. Put that into your Friday night plans. Overnight, 44. Suburbs will be a little cooler. And still some lingering showers tomorrow. Really not a bunch of rain, a little breezy, high only 55. Sunday sunshine will wake up in the 30s, wrap it up at 52. For the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajik, 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Missed your favorite WJR show? No problem. Go to thegreatvoice.com to listen to the latest interviews featuring all the news and information you need to know.
The Backyard Brawl will kick off 7:30 tomorrow night, which means our WJR tailgate show begins in 30 minutes. Oh, well, no, wait. Hey, that's 4:30 tomorrow. 4:30. But let's hope that the showers hold off for the legit tailgating, which will probably be 12 hours long.
Yeah.
Up in East Lansing. We will hope for that the weather holds out for you, as this is a big time party for college football fans. A little bit of a cloud hanging over it as the NCAA, of course, announces right before our big party that one of our favorite teams is under investigation. WJR sports analyst Steve Courtney joining us live with that. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Guy, Lloyd, Jamie. Hello again, my friends. This chat brought to you by the Performance Remodeling Sweepstakes. Performance Remodeling selected Parks Missouri as their winner of their first annual $100,000 window of opportunity sweepstakes. Performance Remodeling says, let's do it again, huh? Log into windowsroofingsiding.com to enter to win the next sweepstakes from Performance Remodeling. Yes, this NCAA investigation on this Friday morning, folks, getting some legs. A low-level staffer with a military background has indeed emerged as one of the linchpins in this NCAA investigation into Michigan's alleged sign-stealing operation. This, according to ESPN. Connor Stallions, a football analyst with the Wolverines and retired captain of the United States Marine Corps, is a person of interest in the investigation into whether or not Michigan violated an NCAA rule by scouting future opponents in person at games. Keep in mind, the NCAA prohibited such scouting way back in 1994. Sources said the NCAA enforcement staff's level of interest in Stallions is so significant, it sought access to his computer as part of the investigation. A source telling ESPN that the Wolverines have used an elaborate scouting system to steal signals from future opponents since at least 2021. With the ongoing NCAA investigation into Michigan recruiting and Coach Jim Harbaugh potentially facing additional penalties there, this separate investigation could significantly increase his exposure to additional suspension. Now, in a statement yesterday, Coach Harbaugh denied any knowledge of or involvement in the alleged scheme to steal opponent signals through scouting trips to out-of-town games. Harbaugh said he would fully cooperate in any investigation and doesn't, quoting now, condone or tolerate anyone doing anything illegal or against NCAA rules. Now, here's the thing. Even though Harbaugh said he had no knowledge of the alleged scheme pursuant to NCAA bylaw 11.1.2.1, there you go, a head coach is presumed to have knowledge of what is occurring in his program and therefore can be responsible for the actions of his staff and individuals associated with the program. The quote, I have no awareness of anyone on our staff having done that or having directed that action. No matter what program or organization that I have led throughout my career, my instructions and awareness of how we scout opponents has always been firmly within the rules. Now, around Michigan's football building, Stallions is known to technically work in the recruiting department under Director of Recruiting Albert Karshnia. But a source said it was known in the building that he spent much of his time deciphering opponents' signals, often watching television copies of opponents' games. Sign stealing, again, keep in mind, also violates NCAA rules if a team uses electronic equipment to decipher signals and relay the information to players and coaches. Now, this certainly has the attention of the Big Ten. An anonymous source, this is worse than both the Astros and Patriots. It's both use of technology for a competitive advantage, and there's allegations that they are filming prior games, not just in game. So certainly, this sets the stage for the 116th meeting between your Michigan State Spartans and the Wolverines. This is crazy stuff, folks.
Good Lord, wouldn't it be nice just to talk about football?
Yeah.
Sometime. Their timing couldn't be worse.
Well, there was a time we used to do that, guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, we're going to do it beginning tomorrow at 4:30 with your WJRT show. How about that?
Looking forward to it. You better believe it.
All right. And of course, kickoff at 7:30 here on News Talk 760. Much more when we come back, including Congressman John James and the speaker vote mess on Capitol Hill. He'll give us some insights into his votes and more next.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S. Over 15 million here alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss, even when you monitor your credit. If your identity is stolen, your dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save 25% off their first
Good
year.
morning,
with promo
everyone.
code NEWS
Welcome
at
in
LifeLock.com.
to the Goodfellows Tribute Breakfast 33. My name is Paul W. Smith. Once again, my privilege to welcome you to this Goodfellows Tribute Breakfast 33. We at WJR, the official voice of the Tribute Breakfast, the morning show with Guy Gordon was on the air, still is on the air until 9 o'clock with Lloyd Jackson and Jamie Edmonds and Guy. We've been doing the broadcast for years, and we're thrilled to be the voice of this event. We're pleased to be a sponsor as well and partner with the Detroit Goodfellows for this very special occasion. We are thrilled to be honoring Nick and Arn Tellem with the Edward H. McNamara Goodfellow of the Year Award for their extraordinary commitment to our great city and children in and around Detroit. You'll hear more about them from them shortly. This is the 109th year that the Detroit Goodfellows will fulfill their mission, ensuring that no child is without a Christmas. We thank all of you for continuing to support us, and a giant thank you to our breakfast sponsors, ABC Student Transportation, DTE Energy Foundation, Tom and Holly Flores, MGM Grand Detroit, Nancy and Arn Tell, the Detroit Pistons, and of course my home, News Talk 760 WJR. Once again, we're very pleased
collaboration with Henry Ford Health and Michigan State University to transform New Center into a walkable mixed-use neighborhood that is a global destination for healthcare, the finest healthcare provided by Henry Ford Health and medical research. All this could only be done with the help of many friends and partners for whom I am so grateful, starting with our great mayor, Mike Duggan, who has been there every step of the way guiding us, especially guiding me, as well as being my chief rival in our fantasy football league. I also want to thank Warren Evans and Mary Sheffield, who have been great partners to the Pistons, as has the entire city council. I think there may be some other members here today. I also want to thank Reverend Renzo Anthony for your moving invitation this morning. The Pistons are proud to support you and the NAACP and all your outstanding work in this community. Much of our work in Detroit would not have been possible without Bob Riney and all my friends here at Henry Ford Health. Our most important partnership, I love you all. We wouldn't be in Detroit but for them. Without that partnership, I don't know if we could have made the move down here. So Bob also, thank you so much. Along with Nancy, I'm also grateful to Dan and Jennifer Gilbert, who recently announced a significant donation to open the Shirley Ryan Stroke Rehab Center in connection with our new center project. And I want to thank Bill Emerson, who's not here, and one of my co-chairs in Rocket Mortgage, for their many charitable initiatives we have worked on together. And the other co-chair, Casey Crane, who's also a very close friend of Nancy and mine. We worked on many charitable projects together, including the Detroit Children's Fund, which is doing great work in the city. I'd be remiss if I did not mention Sheldon Yellen, Belfour, Sandy Pierce with Huntington Bank, Pistons legend Vinnie Johnson with the Piston Group, as well as David Katz and Jill Alper, who were among the first people I met when I arrived in Detroit. All of them have been amazing friends to Nancy and me. And there are so many others in this room, too many to name, who have welcomed us like family. Detroiters have a huge heart, and it has enriched our lives to be part of this community. Most of all, I'm grateful to all dedicated Pistons employees who are committed to friends in Detroit and have worked tirelessly on these projects. They're sitting right here. They're representing the organization. Let's give them a hand. They share in this honor with me. Of course, in the end, we understand a sports team is ultimately judged by winning. It's not easy, as Sheila knows, which is why we have taken major steps to overhaul basketball operations in our efforts to restore the franchise to competitive greatness. But speaking of winning, how about them Lions? Let's give them an applause again. My family in Philly's a tough town, you may know. We're diehard Eagle fans. They would disown me. My family would disown me if they heard me now. But Sheila, Steve, Rod, we are all behind you and rooting for your continued success. I'm hoping for an Eagles-Lions playoff game this year in Detroit. I hope this is not being broadcast to Philadelphia. The Pistons' roadmap for sustainable success on the court requires us building through the draft and being strategic in free agency, which is what we are doing. We now have a solid nucleus of young talent to build around. That is the foundation of our restoring effort to lead us back to contention. It's hard to believe, but we can't wait to see the progress. The season starts next week. Can't wait to see the progress we've made on the court this upcoming season. It's a pleasure to work each day with our new head coach, Monty Williams. I think we got the best possible for this team, and our general manager, Troy Weaver, in supporting them in these efforts. We all feel a tremendous sense of responsibility to deliver for all of you in this room, all of our incredible fans, and the city of Detroit. Our drive to succeed when the court is imbued with the ethos of Tom Gore's, which is that you can do well by doing good, that success on the court is sweetest when balanced along success in the community, and to use our platform to speak out on critical issues confronting our nation and community, like racial and gender equity, social justice, and voting. It's in that light that I feel to express my utter sorrow. Actually, I'm devastated, as is Nancy, at the horrific terrorist attack against Israel and the unprecedented ongoing crisis in Israel and Gaza. It's not just the crisis that we see in the news occurring half a world away, but one that has hit close to home for many of us, including Nancy and me. My son's high school classmate, Danny Stassi, along with her husband, Mayor, and her father, Avi, attended a peace concert in Israel, in southern Israel, on October 7th. When they heard shots from the attackers, they took cover in a bunker. A grenade was tossed inside, and in an effort to save his children, Danny's father, Avi, threw himself onto the grenade and was killed. Shots were fired. Danny and her husband were wounded and hid under dead bodies for hours until they were rescued. They are being treated in an Israeli hospital. We mourn with the families who have lost loved ones. We pray for the well-being of those wounded and for the safe return of all those taken hostage. We pray that innocent Palestinians and Israeli lives are spared as the crisis continues. Nancy and I have spent much of our adult lives supporting organizations that seek Jewish and Muslim coexistence. As events continue to unfold, our hope is that peace can prevail over violence and hate. A just and lasting peace can only be achieved by dialogue and understanding. Finally, I want to conclude by once again thanking the Detroit Goodfellows for this tremendous honor. Detroit has become our home, right, Nancy? And this city has given us much more back, has given much more back to us than we could ever give to it. And we're not done yet. That we can promise. Thank you very much.
God bless. Good heart. That's approved. Beautiful. By the way, it says on the award, Edward H. McNamara, Goodfellows of the Year 2023, Nancy and Aaron Tellem, for your extraordinary commitment to Detroit's children and your enduring support of this community. I think you'll agree with me, as you've heard a number of times already. I don't know of another couple that's ever come to Detroit from the West Coast or from anywhere else and became Michiganders in such quick time. And we really know this is your home because you put your heart and souls into it. So God bless you. Again, Nancy and Aaron Tellem. Beth Conley is in her second year as the president of the Old Newsboys Goodfellow Fund of Detroit. She has been an active Goodfellow member for over a decade and is an instructional systems designer for General Motors. In 2021, she was honored as a notable nonprofit board member in Crane's Detroit business. Please welcome Beth Conley.
Good morning. Thank you, Paul. I'm so happy to be here with all of you today. Congratulations, Nancy, on your well-deserved award. I'd like to take a few moments to acknowledge a few other people who have had contributions to the Detroit Goodfellows. In 2024, we will celebrate 100 years of dressing dolls for young ladies. We have had the privilege to work with thousands of talented doll dressers who have created amazing outfits for our package recipients. So thank you to all of you who have contributed to this well-loved program. If you're a doll dresser here today, please stand. Thank you. We'd also like to recognize the young people that are here today from Detroit Public Schools, Cass Tech High School, and the Jalen Rose Academy. You are our future leaders, and we're so glad you could celebrate with us today. We'd like to give a special thanks to the talented children who will perform for us today from the Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences. This wonderful group has been part of our breakfast for nearly 20 years. We're so lucky to have them share their beautiful voices with us each year, and they are lucky to have their leader, Miss Angela Key. While she's always in the background, we wanted to take a moment to acknowledge her today for the vital work she does with this choir. Miss Angela Key, can you please wave your hand in the back? Thank you for all your work. And finally, thanks to all of you for being here. I love this organization, and I've truly enjoyed my time as president over the last 2 years. I've encouraged many of my family and friends to volunteer and join, and I'm really proud of the work we've accomplished. I'll always be part of the Goodfellows, and I will work with our many partners, including my fellow Goodfellows, the Detroit Police Department, the Detroit Fire Department, and all of you generous members of the community. Let's continue to work together to make sure the Goodfellows meet their annual goal of no kitty without a Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth, and all of the Detroit Goodfellows for all you do to help thousands of children each and every year. A couple of notes not on my script that I want to take care of. Let's thank the servers and the chefs for a great job today. And then I want to remember somebody who, for the first time, is not here with us. He was the heart and soul of this breakfast for years. His children still are the heart and soul of this breakfast and of Goodfellows. They are the third generation of SMZ advertising. And let's take a moment of silence and reflect on the loss of Mr. Jim Michelson, the first year that he is not with us. Thank you. On behalf of the children, I'm sure they thank you as well, as this was not an easy function for them without Dad for the first time. This morning, we're once again fortunate to have these incredibly talented members of the Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences Choir, who will be entertaining us with two very special numbers. The Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences Choir, a high-spirited group of 3rd through 8th graders. Throughout the school year, the DAAS Choir enriches the cultural life of the community through performances for charitable, educational, and civic organizations. This entertaining group has performed at the Goodfellows Tribute Breakfast for many, many times in the past, and we are honored to have them today, along with their very talented director, Angela T. Take it away, Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences Choir.
What up, though? Y'all know how we do. I'm from the most detail. I got it going up. They always told me that the sky space time flying out a million miles a minute. From the west all the way to the east side. We all family, it don't matter where you reside. On the block, way more than the street signs. Tell me where you're from. Go ahead and throw it. Me off Evergreen all the way to the river walk. Back and be, but let me see your avenue of fashion. Feel loud, wild for the spirit of Detroit. It's us versus everybody. You don't really have a choice. I do this for my sisters and my brothers. I know the struggle for our single mothers and single fathers. I just want to see us go farther, so we go harder and grow smarter. Cause it's my pain. I'm sorry, y'all. Standing up. Get down, let's go, let's go. Let's go. I'm just living it. I said, so come and see what it's like. You don't need no invite. It don't matter where I go. I'm screaming Detroit for life. My city got my back. The strike. We hustle harder, it's the way the city design. Our community, love and unity, it's all we preach. Continuity, inspire you so we can help it reach an opportunity. And all the foolery. Let me tell you what the city do to me. So go and put your hands in the sky and wave beside the style. We made it to provide. You know we warriors. We gon' remain victorious. Top of the class like we was valedictorian. So we gon' live it up. We gon' live it up. We persevere through every struggle and giving up. Even Stevie can see it shine. No soap the burn, you know the vibe. Let's go. It's my pain. I just shine in the rain. We started doing it. Get down. You can't tell me I'm not gonna sing. You get down. Let's go. Gotta see the whole world. Never forget who you can. Love beats like a bass. Whole city had it back from the first. We put it on to love. Say what? Look around.
The Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences Choir under the direction of Angela Key. Well done. Performance. Thank you so much, guys. Very well done. I look forward to talking to you first thing this afternoon in Focus, noon to 2. I thank you for coming and for your support of the Detroit Goodfellows. We hope that you all had a very great time. And I'm going to turn it over to Andrea Bonson, past Goodfellow president, who will read the door prize winners.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have appreciated your support throughout the years. On this occasion, it's very special for us. Thank you for being a part of this event today. You notice we've had many supporters have worked with us. And we want to also not only recognize those who are major sponsors, but those who also served us at your tables that may go unnamed to many of them. But we want you to know who they are. And I have a young person that's going to help me this morning because you're going to get to know who they are by the raffle gifts that are going to be given. But we're going to pause for one moment because there's something special that we want to do. Something very special. And she doesn't know this is occurring. But you heard our president announce that how much we have appreciated the work of Mrs. Angela Key. Would you not agree that she does a marvelous job with the Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences? So, Mrs. Key, as you are working in the back, paying attention to the duties and responsibilities of being an educator, we want you to know that you have been selected as the Educator of the Year by the Detroit Goodfellows for all of the work that you do. For being a remarkable individual and caring for children and working with children. You have been excellent in all regards, so we appreciate you. And I'll give this to you later. Thank you so much on behalf of the Detroit Goodfellows. And now, joining me, I'm going to let him introduce himself. You can see him right here. Can you not?
Hi, my name is Karen Sims. I am going to be announcing the raffle.
So that means you gotta listen up. So if you take your tickets out of your hand or the cup, I think they're in the cup. Look in your cup. Look for the number that is on that ticket. And we're going to shake this up very well. And Erin is going to be the one that will. Stand up.